I want to help you free yourself from modern wage slavery. Wage slavery is being tied to a paycheck so that you can live your life and pay your bills. Plain and simple. Society's outline system, or what some call the matrix, is built to support this. It's all a pyramid scheme with the top 1% of people in the world reaping the most benefit. This is incredibly complex, but by the end of this video, I'm going to teach you one option that I feel is the absolute best to be the actual captain of the ship of your own life. Stick with me here because first we need to go deep on why society's actually broken if you want to be in control of your own life. A paycheck is the drug that employers give to employees to forget about their dreams and the possibility of there being something greater out there than sitting in a cube in fluorescent lighting all day. Most people don't realize, but they've forfeited most autonomy over their own lives. For many people, this starts as a teenager when they first sign on the dotted line for a student loan and start taking on a ton of debt. But if you're watching this and you think that you're better off because you didn't go to college, I'm sorry to say that the prospects are just as bad for you as well. It even applies to me to an extent. Car loans, mortgages, personal loans, consumer or credit card debt, health insurance, all lead to modern wage slavery. Let's talk about how to escape this trap. For part one, we need to understand the modern slavery trap. It really starts with wage dependency. Most human beings on planet Earth are completely reliant on one single stream of income to support all of their needs in their entire life. As we've seen play out time and time again, there are dire consequences to this though. We as a society have a false sense of security around a paycheck. It comes every 2 weeks, so long as somebody else deems that we are worthy or useful. The problem is that we have no control over when or if that happens. I joined the workforce in 2008 with an English literature degree during a global financial meltdown. I saw exactly what happens to people when they overextend themselves a little bit or don't and play by the rules and do everything right, but have one single source of income. The only people that won on the other end of that recession were the top 1% and also entrepreneurs who knew how to make money in those types of situations. Meanwhile, most people I knew personally lost it all and to this day never recovered. The mindless masses, or the 99%, see entrepreneurship as risky, not realizing that the real risk is existing every day in society's machine. The second important part of this is the debt web. On top of this, for 99% of people, it's increasingly common to compete with one another. There are insane statistics out there about the average savings that the average person has today, the average car payment that is just absolutely insane. It's close to like $1,000 or something at this point. And people just end up spiraling into a consumer debt web. This starts young. You compete to get into the best college, which oftentimes comes with a very high debt burden. The higher up society's hierarchy you want to go, the more education it requires, the more debt you accrue. If you chose a non-collegiate or non-university route, it's not that much better. We compete with each other for the nicest cars, the nicest houses, the nicest vacations. Who do you think wins in all of this? The servicers of debt, the lenders. It all comes with a cost. The more debt you accrue, the more payments, the more fees, the more and more you become tied to a paycheck. The more dependent you are on the system and the less autonomy you have over your future. There's a way out of this though, and it's in front of every single person watching this video. Past generations and smart entrepreneurs are in desperate need of help staying competitive and staying ahead in this rapidly changing digital renaissance economy that we're living through. Moving into part two here, let's talk about freedom in the new economy. Social media is the future. It connects all of us, and we are living in a digital renaissance driven by social media at the center of it. By the very nature of you watching this video, I'm making my own point. The previous rules of society are breaking, and just like past renaissance, we're living through a digital renaissance happening before our very eyes. Even 10 years ago, more like 20 years ago though, the barrier of making a video like this was so astronomically high that there's absolutely no way that I'd be able to get in front of you right now. I'm sitting here distributing my message, hopefully having some impact, because the rules of the game have changed. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, email, newsletters, it doesn't matter. The platform doesn't matter. The digital economy has completely uprooted how messages are spread, and not even the 1% can stop it at this point. By the nature of you clicking on this video and watching to this point, this means that you understand this at a level that the rest of society just doesn't understand. You already have a disposition to social media and how it works. You understand the digital economy and where it's headed. I understood this 10 years ago, which is why I started my social media marketing agency. I'm not here to sell you on starting a social media agency by any means, but I am here to sell you on the skills that you're going to need to succeed in the new economy, and they're very tightly aligned. The key to freeing yourself from wage slavery is to have multiple streams of income and to have autonomy in those streams of income. I'm currently at 5 and counting. I got a great video on my 5 streams of income. I'd encourage you to watch that one after this one. In order to create additional streams of income though, you need to know how to create a product, a service, a solution, and most importantly, you need to know how to capture attention for it. Starting a social media marketing agency wasn't just like generating immediate income. It enabled me to enroll in the real real world school of business and have my clients pick up the tab as I learned these skills and I got better and better and better. As you work on growing clients' businesses and partner with them and learn from them together and receive income from that, you're essentially building an arsenal of high income skills that are going to set you up for success in the digital economy. I personally like the social media marketing agency model a lot more than anything that's out there today, just because it's so perfect for complete beginners and it's not tied to any sort of trend. It's not going anywhere. These are bedrock evergreen skills that everyone is going to need to be competitive in the future. To run a successful agency, you need to become proficient in advertising, consumer psychology, content creation, analytics, and much more. And even though you might be starting as a complete beginner, clients will work with you because you already know more than them. And they'll pay you thousands of dollars per month to manage their social media. And what's actually happening is you're upskilling as you go through this. You're becoming an indispensable asset to yourself and to other businesses. They can't fire you because they need you more than they need their own CEO. Without marketing, they don't have a business. But the best part of all of this is as you're learning these skills, you can use the same skills to grow your own agency and the machine starts feeding itself. What this gives you is leverage. By learning skills that are directly tied to creating income or creating profit, you're not becoming just another employee, you're becoming an indispensable asset to any organization that you work with, including your own future companies that you might start. This is exactly what the modern wage slave does not have. I saw this opportunity 10 years ago and I very much was a wage slave. I had a mountain of student loan debt, I had a really nice car and a nice high car payment, and the worst part was I felt like I was dispensable at my company after a while. I felt like my world could come crashing down at any moment. I felt like I broke that promise I mentioned earlier to myself. So what I did was I started my agency. I ended up landing my first client with my business partner Derek for $3,000 per month 2 weeks after starting my agency, and my entire perspective on money shifted. The best part about all of this is I later found out that I was very much dispensable. I found out that I probably would have been fired less than 90 days after I quit my job on June 1st of 2017. I go very deep on this in my program, the SMMA Blueprint. If this sounds like something that you might want to get into, check that out in the description down below. Now let's talk about how to leverage your autonomy. So whether you start an agency or not, you really have two options. You can start an agency and get paid for learning these skills, or you can go and learn these skills on your own. Both options are totally fine. One just is like a paid internship. The other is just working for free and educating yourself. What I am getting at though is that these are the skills of the new economy. It doesn't matter what business you want to start in the future, whether it's a personal brand, e-commerce store, roofing company, power washing company, literally anything. You will need these skills in order to monetize it, in order to make money. In the future, you can either pay somebody else, like an agency owner that has these skills, or you can get paid through running an agency to acquire these skills and then monetize future businesses for yourself. Let me explain this to you for a second because this is really important. As people that know social media, we might never think to ourselves like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and pay somebody to manage social media for me. Why don't I just self-educate myself? But smart business owners do. They wanna pay people to do things for them in their business. And they wanna find somebody that they can trust to help them grow their business for them. The real magic of this though, is that you're learning these skills, which is giving you massive, massive leverage. This is unlocking complete and total control over your future. If you know how to get attention on social media, if you know how to do so through organic and paid marketing tactics, if you know how to capture this attention and turn it into subscribers, followers, newsletter opt-ins, podcast listeners, whatever it is, you can then create any type of business. Product, service, solution, you name it. And you can drive revenue to it immediately. My business is doing 7 figures a year right now. My core business is my agency. I have another side hustle doing tens of thousands of dollars per month, which is completely passive. I have another YouTube channel in addition to this one. In the last year, we blew up to 15,000 subscribers from just 2,000 subscribers a year ago. And all of this gives me leverage. If my agency melted down today, like my main source of income disappeared overnight, I have the skills to launch any sort of new business and start generating income for myself to meet all of my needs basically overnight. This is true autonomy and the options are limitless. I'm able to sleep at night because even when things are stressful, I know that I'm in complete control of my destiny. If you guys are looking for help with this, I've got some awesome resources in the description down below. First thing you're gonna wanna do is sign up for my newsletter. The link is in the description. You also might wanna check out the SMMA Blueprint if you're curious on how you can replicate the results that I've been able to generate in my business by starting your own agency. And a great video to watch after this one would be this one right here that tells the story of how I took $150 initial investment and turned it into a 7-figure business running a social media marketing agency. I'm super curious what you think. Let me know in the comments down below. Drop a subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.